to Brisbane. Big, strong boy. Jack Frost in for his first game. 54 games at the Magpies in defence. Played in some big games, as you do when you play at Collingwood. And Andrew McGrath has settled in nicely, the #1 pick last week, mainly playing across half-back for the Bombers.
Yeah, had some big jobs to do against those small Hawthorn forwards.
We're ready to go for the opening quarter.
This quarter of SEN Football for Supergroups, your #1 Kubota construction dealer.
Here we go. We'll keep an eye on West Coast and St Kilda. That game to start very shortly over in the west, but our eyes are going to be here on the Gabba. So Rockcliffe starting in the middle, had a terrific game, the former captain last week with the 37 disposals. Dyson Heppel in the middle. 250 games, of course, for Brent Stanton. What a warrior he's been for the Bombers.
Indeed, he has had his critics over the journey, but 250 games is not to be sneezed at.
Zorko and Watson going head-to-head in the middle as well. Umpire balls it up. As Martin flew pretty early in the ruck. Now Zorko. Gee, they started well last week, Brisbane. Here's Cutler out of the middle. Kick inside forward 50. Doesn't suit McStay, who's gone forward with Frost coming into the team. Buick's tackle didn't stick. Bagley, Zaharakis. Now back to James Kelly. As the Bombers look to clear, will kick up the middle to centre half back to McKernan, who's shouldering a lot of the ruck. Leuenberger and Bellchambers did play in the VFL practice match earlier today, but McKernan very solid last week. There's Stanton. Game 250. It's up Watson. Who goes short to Langford. So Langford on the wing here for the Bombers. He meshes another short ball to Brent Stanton. Busy early. And now he'll pull the trigger inside forward 50, but it's all the Lions. As a nice mop-up mark there from Martin.
And he quickly gets it across to his skipper, Dame Beams, who works the other side. Buick, who's started 2017 in pretty good touch, it must be said, takes a mark, and he had a look up the ground and then decided to go back. And with the switch to Mays, who marks uncontested in the back pocket, that kick is perfect. And Zorko has got the footy for the Brisbane Lions. This ground has come up really well, considering what it's been through. I mean, a couple of days ago, there were some question marks as to whether there'd be any footy here at all, and remarkably, there is. It's a great drying ground, obviously, and fantastic to see it in this nick. Kelly has it now in the middle, gets a free kick. Advantage paid, dishes off to Watson. Watson goes short. Zaharakis, perfect pass, and Joey Danaher's got it on the lead. 35 out, and he's straight in front.
Well, you mentioned, Rob, this game going ahead. Of course, the Neefall game was supposed to be played at the Pines complex where the AFL women's team has been playing. That was moved to Blacktown today. The Lions had a big win against Sydney. Josh Shecky kicked 4. Hugh McCluggage kicked a goal. They're probably the two players that Brisbane would like back in that team as quickly as possible. So good signs in the Neefall today for a couple of young Lions.
So Joe Danaher is going with a conventional goal-kicking approach here. Straight in front, strikes it pretty well, and the Bombers are on the board first. Really hope he sorts his goal-kicking out, because we know what an exciting talent Joe Danaher can be. And the Dons are a goal. Brisbane yet to score, and that's in the opening quarter for Supergroups, your #1 Kubota construction dealer.
Yeah, good start here for the Bombers. As Rob mentioned, the ground in superb condition. There was lots of confidence during the week that there was no problems, even though Cyclone Debbie has made its way down to southeast Queensland. The Brisbane River has certainly caused a fair bit of flooding. And parts of Brisbane really battling. But the ground here in absolutely superb condition. So umpire puts it down in the middle. Martin just lost his footing there for a moment. Here's Heppel. Little handball on the up. Taylor busy. Now Lester got a kick on the boot towards half forward. Heppel with a big fly from behind. But it's going to be a free kick. It will go Brisbane's way. It's going to go to Close. It was in that marking contest. Got interfered with. Chips it wide towards the pocket. On the stretch, Beams takes a terrific mark. He's come back beautifully into this team through the JLT series. Had the 28 disposals last week and led from the front against the Gold Coast.
Really seems to have matured, Dame Beams, as a person and as a footballer. And the time off he's sort of used in almost personal development stuff, and it's great to see.
45-degree angle. He's on the good side for a right footer. He can just open up things slightly. And that is straight as you like. Terrific response from Dame Beams. Goal apiece on the SEN identifiable scoreboard. Asbestos and hazardous materials risk management services, and we've gone 4 minutes of this opening quarter.
Well, only moments ago he was on the very, very last line of defence, and his gut running and hard running has created that goal there, and an option for Michael Close, who's coming back from some very serious injuries. A kid from Ballarat. He's a big chunk of the lad, isn't he? But he serves a very important purpose, I think, in their forward line as a battering ram, if you like, to help out young Hipwood and Shackey when he returns.
If Shackey can get back in next week, you've got Jono Freeman kicked 3 in the NEFL today as well. I mean, he fractured his cheekbone at training a few weeks ago. So there's a few options in the front half, which is encouraging for Brisbane.
Martin in the ruck, takes it now and kicks it forward for the Brisbane Lions. Big climb then from McStay, who's another one of those young key position players. And that was a big leap. He just didn't quite hang on, did he? Centre half forward for Brisbane. Martin, good tap. And Rockcliffe just gets the kick in. A dangerous one to full forward. Hipwood climbing high again. Has he given away a free kick? No, they're going to get one in front of goal.
Close again.
And Michael Close. Well, they had McStay, Hipwood and Close all flying, and it caused havoc there for the Bombers' defence.
Yeah, SEN Chemist Warehouse replay. Rob, discover the new fragrance Diesel Bad. That's available now at Chemist Warehouse.
Free kick against Hurley for hanging on. Hurley was sort of beaten to the drop there, so he had to try and do something, and the umpire spotted it. Though Michael is pleading his case as we speak. So here's Close. Who is Close? He's only 25 metres out, directly in front. The 22-year-old kicks the Brisbane goal. They've started well at the Gabba, and they lead 2 goals to 1 goal on the SEN identifiable scoreboard. Asbestos and hazardous materials risk management services.
Good solid start here for the Lions after the Bombers kicked the first. Fairly even possession-wise on the first-rate car line stat sheet. You can head to firstratecarlines.com.au for your next car line. So 3-2 the inside 50s for Brisbane. This would be an unbelievable start if the Lions won their first 2 for a team, Rob, that won just 3 games in total last year. It'd be an incredible start for a team that was uncompetitive in so many matches. Here's Martin, wins the tap. Gathered here by Parrish. He was able to send the Bombers forward only momentarily, though. Good mark by Gardner. Just shanked the kick, but it sits up okay for Close. He wants to turn back. Does the 360 turn. Hit up kick to centre half forward. Big fist in from Hartley against Hipwood on that occasion. Now the mop-up work for the Bombers. Kelly back to Ambrose. So head out towards the interchange side. Collier's got the legs. Just saw off Harwood. Gathers just in front of the interchange bench. Now the kick towards half forward. Howlett back in the team tonight to Stanton. Now the kick inside forward 50. Good spoil from Mays. Right over the top of Heppel. Lions get it out of bounds 40 metres around from the Bombers' goal.
So Heppel having a bit of a spell forward. They've got degree of depth in that midfield, Essendon, where they can do that with some of their star players. You'd expect Watson to spend some time forward as well. Danaher wins that in the ruck, and Stanton has it now. And the Bombers setting up. Bagley, high kick to full forward, almost a mark. McDonald, Tippenwoody's lurking here. Off the deck from Harwood. Here comes McDonald, Tippenwoody. Hand pass out to Collier. Cut off. McDonald, Tippenwoody's caught high. Going to get a free kick within range against Mitch Robinson. So McDonald, Tippenwoody, one of the real shining lights of 2016. They've found a player here.
Yeah, clearly over the shoulder. SEN Chemist Warehouse replay. Discover the new fragrance Diesel Bad. It's available now at Chemist Warehouse. Can do that, can't he, Mitch Robinson? Just a little bit erratic at times with his tackling.
Yes, yeah, has the penchant for the stupid at times. So McDonald, Tippenwoody kicking from right on 50. Good looking kick. It needs to bend back, and it's just missed to the left-hand side. So that's the first point of the evening. 1-1-7 the Dons. Brisbane 2 straight goals on the SEN identifiable scoreboard. Asbestos and hazardous materials risk management services.
Here's Jack Frost in the back pocket. Missed the opening round due to suspension. Now back to Howlett. The fist came from the Bombers. Penetrates back to full forward towards Hooker. Fantasia. Collier round the body. for a second goal for the Bombers, and that is an SEN Chisholm game and goal of the night. So good opening term here. Bombers led it by a point, 2-1-13. Brisbane 2 straight. Opening quarter for Super Groups, your number one Kubota construction dealer. And you talk about those small forwards. And at ground level, that's where the Bombers can do some damage tonight.
Started well, Collier. First-rate Carlone stats, 4 possessions earlier to lead the charge for the Dons with Stanton and Zaharakis. So he's really important, Travis Collier, I think, and Fantasia was the one that got it to him. So those small Essendon forwards, big part of their goal scoring potential. So back in the middle once more, Martin and McKernan. No clear break, and then Rich got it forward, but straight to Hartley, whose hurried kick is not effective. It came from Ambrose, and it's a Brisbane mark at half back. Here's Bastanak with the footy now for the Brisbane Lions, and they trail by behind. Their 2 straight goals to Essendon's 2-1-13. He picks out Mitch Robinson, who takes a good mark, goes short to Lewis Taylor, who uses it pretty well, and Tom Bell has taken a mark, and Brisbane up towards the wing now, and Bell searching for a way forward. He wants to kick it long and go for the tall timber. Close again. Oh, a bit of a falcon on that occasion. Gollard works his man off the ball, comes to Bastanak, gets it to Rich. Rich has a go at goal and kicks the beauty. Rich on that trusty left foot of his with a kick around the corner has given the Brisbane Lions back the lead. They're 3 straight goals, 18. They look pretty dangerous every time they go forward. Essendon 2-1-13 in the opening quarter for Super Groups, your number one Kubota construction dealer.
Been a hot start to this game.
Yeah. 2
teams that have come in with a lot of confidence. The Lions winning first up with a brilliant opening half against the Gold Coast last week, and the Bombers played some outstanding footy on a big occasion at the MCG. So massive night for one of these teams to go 2-0 to start the year and really lay the foundations. We always talk about Daniel Rich, don't we, Rob? He's not a huge possession gatherer, but geez, he needs to do some damage forward to the centre. As that kick goes inside 50 by Parrish, cut off by Andrews to Cutler. He loves to run and go, really create from deep in defence. Works back to Frost. It's a 2-on-1 at half back. Tippenwoody will take the mark in front of Nick Robertson. Just caught one over the scone as well. Anthony McDonald, Tippenwoody. Well, the excitement machines. Flexible to play anywhere across the ground. He's going to hit the tops of the square. Danaher flew, couldn't take the mark. Gathered by Cutler. Ineffective kick. Threw it on the boot. Mark taken by Langford. Plenty of goal face to work with here, about 35 out.
Gee, that was a sort of careless kick coming out there, and I don't think his coach, Chris Fagan, would be too happy with that kick from Cutler, because he just blazed it away into such a dangerous spot and went straight to young Langford, who's now got an easy shot at goal.
So Bombers looking for their third to regain the lead. Saturday night footy here at the Gabba as he steps in, and he's hooked that way out to the left and missed everything. So not getting the result he would have liked. We'll keep an eye on the key matchups for Toyota Material Handling tonight. Australia's first choice for new and used Toyota forklifts. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. We've seen Sorko and Watson sort of line up at the centre bounce against each other.
That might be as close as they get. Robertson up towards the wing. Big shove in the back then from McKernan, and Martin's going to win himself a free kick. Young Robertson's having footwear issues there, but now he's up and going. Beams has it now in the middle of the ground. Almost gets himself into a real corner, but it works out okay as his kick is marked by his man in the forward line in Barrett. Barrett goes long. It ricochets off Bell, but straight to Zaharakis, who dishes off to Merritt, searching for a way out. Almost intercepted by Martin. Merritt, though, very clever. Mops up, little spin, gets him out of trouble, and then he kicks up towards the wing, where Orazio Fantasia takes a terrific mark.
Yeah, great mark. Kessie and Glenn Cameron group at the mark of the night contender. That's another Cameron's can-do grab on the stretch. Here's McDonald, Tippenwoody. Sends it back inside 50. Watson. Had plenty of defenders coming at him. Now a ground level ball to be won. Harris Andrews, rock solid. Beams. Back to Gardner. Hemmed in. Now they can really release outside 50. Robertson.
With one boot.
Bastanak the fumble. Still can't find their boot. To Barrett. Well, the drop mark at half forward by McStay, and that allows the Bombers defenders to swoop in. Kelly right on the head there of McDonald, Tip and Woody. It was thumped away. Robertson.
Still
Gardner.
with one boot.
We still can't. Someone find the boot. Here's Louis Taylor. He can put the afterburners on. Now the kick inside 50. Bell on the stretch, can't take the mark.
That's a marker.
And it's sort of ping-ponging between the arcs at the moment, this footy. Here's McGrath, right on the head of Goddard. Big fist by Harwood. Now the gather by Zorko. It's a wide kick, though. It just scrapes in for a behind, but it's a high-intensity contest at the moment. Lions led it by 6 points, 3-1-19. Essendon 2-1 third, and we've gone 14 minutes opening quarter for Super Groups.
Really well done. On 3 or 4 occasions, the Brisbane Lions player came in late and left his man to get to the next link in the chain and make the spoil, and that's the reason why they ended up having a shot at goal. So Hurley with the long kick. Oh! Huge mark from Joey Danaher. Magnificent climb, but he bounced up and dished off quickly to Parrish, so he couldn't perhaps enjoy the moment as much as we wanted to.
Oh, that's a Glenn Cameron Group Mark of the Night contender. That's number 1 on our list. Oh, what a fly.
Well, it's going to take something to beat that. Really early leap. He was way over the top there of Buick. So boundary throw in. Favours Martin, taps it Zorko, who's beautifully tackled by Heppel. And Heppel's going to win himself a free kick. And the skipper takes off, and he wants that left of his, and he goes to full forward, and he's found Fantasia. It was just too quick there for Gardner. In the end, it was a contested mark and a good one.
Plenty of space to lead up into then. Chris Fagan would have liked his defenders or the midfielders to push back into that hole.
Probably would have been a free kick if he hadn't have marked it.
Yeah.
Because Gardner was hanging on, had the arms wrapped around him, but he couldn't stop him from grabbing it. So Orazio Fantasia, 21 years of age, averaging more than a goal a game, and you'd expect that to climb as his career blossoms. 48 metres out, in he comes. It's a beautiful kick, and another Essendon goal. So scores are level here. This is a really entertaining opening quarter at the Gabba. It's Brisbane 3-1-19, the Dons 3-1-19, and that's on the identifiable scoreboard. Asbestos and Hazardous Materials Risk Management Services.
Just going around the grounds for McGregor Portables, an office, granny flat or footy change room anywhere. Underway over at Domain Stadium. The Saints with the opening scorer behind, West Coast yet to score. Keep an eye on the Melbourne Storm tonight, who are off to a flyer against Penrith. 4-0 in the first 10 minutes down at Amy Park. So we'll keep an eye on that for you as well. So all square here at 3-1-19 apiece. On a day where the Giants won by 102 points, the Crows won by 24 points. Here's Rockcliffe. Brought down the tackle, Louis Taylor. He's going to be ping. No, free kick in the end. Gee, I thought the tackle was okay. Just might have been a fraction high. Forced to play on and hurry the kick inside 50. Hipwood flew. McStay flew. Ground level, the Bombers. Kelly didn't hit the handball with it. The target with the handball. Now back to Harwood, to Beams. Another ball inside 50. Almost the one-hander there from Bell. Dropped a couple early. McGrath to Watson. Now the Bombers. Oh, I thought they were going to find some space. Don't see Jobe Watson turn it over too often. The gather by Cutler. Rockcliffe. A little bit messy from the Lions going inside 50. Mays. Just a high up and under. McStay got underneath it. Ground level ball for Bastanek. Towards the goal square, but Collier's going to chop it off and show that dash out of defence. Wasn't a great kick to Goddard. Still allows the Lions in. Frost. Zorko spun out of the would-be tackle. Back towards Beams. Not the prettiest little couple of minutes here at the Gabba, but Beams gets another ball inside 50. Hipwood! Oh, he had 3/4 of it. It's exciting when he flies, though. And the Bombers will clear for the moment. Gee, Martin had it. Now he does have it, Stephen Martin. He'll go long towards the goal square, but the Bombers will chop it off through Joe Danaher.
Couple of near misses there for Brisbane. Bell should have taken a mark, and he won't enjoy the replay. And young Hipwood just almost did enough, but the umpire got the call right. So bit of relief for the Bombers. It's kicked out by Parrish to McDonald, Tip and Woody, and he's going to win himself a free kick. Brisbane fans don't like it, nor does Mays, but he gives the ball to the young Bomber. Short pass to Goddard, and it's an awkward kick into the middle. Yeah, geez, Jobe's having a few disposals issues at the moment. Collier threatens to take off, but it's going to have to come back and get to Zorko. And it's not really given to Zorko in the correct manner, but the umpire lets Essendon get away with that as he kicks to a one-on-one. Looking there for Leicester, who's opposed to McDonald, Tip and Woody. Leicester wins the footy, keeps it in, then stuffs it all up with a shocking hand pass. It's still forward for the Brisbane Lions. Hipwood swung around in a 360. Hurley caught high and is going to win himself a free kick. But Brisbane playing really well tonight. It's 19 apiece, 6 minutes left in the opening quarter.
Here's Collier, who comes off half-back. 14-8 the inside 50s for Brisbane. First-rate car loan stat sheet. Head to firstratecarloans.com.au for your next car loan, but maybe just not able to capitalise at the moment. Here's Fantasia on a strong lead. Marks well out in front of his eyes for his size. It's a good ball inside 50. Hooker almost had it. Andrews right there with him. And a great battle with Tom Lynch last week. He's the key down back, and he's been pinged here though for holding the ball.
I think he thought it was out and then he stopped playing, but it wasn't out.
Yeah, we'll get a look at that on the SEN Chemist Warehouse replay, but it's going to be a Hooker free kick. He's deep in the left forward pocket.
He's taking in the big breaths. Cale, he expended a fair amount of energy there, and
expecting to run it to the right, and he's going to do that. Couple of steps. Now hooks it around the body, but he's gone narrow with the kick for a behind. SEN identified that scoreboard. It's the Bombers by a point, 3-2-20. Brisbane 3-1-19. We've gone 20 minutes. Opening quarter here from the Gabba.
Keep an eye on how Hooker goes. Don't think he's a natural forward, but he's just trying to do a job for his side at the moment as the Bombers forward pressure really, really good. And Brisbane have got to work hard to get out of this. Robertson's wrapped up. Comes to Watson now, yeah. And it's going to be an Essendon free kick. And Zach Merritt has got the footy inside 50.
You can sort of see what Brisbane are trying to do. They're trying to run and gun and be a bit brave, and you want to see that sort of ball movement, but they just haven't always got the execution to pull it off. The Lions.
Slow-mo replay, Chemist Warehouse replay suggests that there may have been a hand on the shoulder there for Merritt, but Merritt doesn't care because he's nailed the goal. It's the Bombers' fourth. They're up to 4-2-26. Brisbane 3-1-19 on the identifiable scoreboard. Asbestos and hazardous materials risk management services.
A good start for the Saints over at Domain, starting to kick the first two goals. 2-2-14 West Coast yet to score as we go around the grounds from McGregor Portables and office granny flat or footy change room anywhere. Melbourne Storm leading Penrith 4-0 down at Amy Park. So plenty of live sport about on a Saturday night. We've got a cracking game here at the Gabba. Tom Cutler's had the 7, Zorko's had the 7 early on. Collier's had the 6 along with James Kelly on the first-rate Carline stat sheet. And the Bombers leading the tackles though, 6-1. That's another big key early indicator here. Watson brought down the tackle, still got a kick, just went right through McDonald, Tip and Woody. Good gather by Goddard. Conceded some ground back with a sweeping handball to McGrath. It's a beautifully weighted ball in the end to Zach Merritt. He's got all the class, doesn't miss too many targets, but Rich put himself right in the crunch. That ball intended for Joe Danaher, who was on a storming lead, and that's what you want to see Daniel Rich do.
That's inspirational play, and I think he'll win a lot of respect for his teammates for doing that. He filled the hole, got crunched in a corky situation. That's really good stuff from Rich.
Yeah, number 1 for the SEN Glenn Cameron group. Mark of the night tonight, that's another Cameron's can-do grab. You love seeing him kick the flashy goals at half forward, but that's the sort of stuff Chris Fagan would love to see as well. Interference with Bell there in the marking contest. Right on the wing. Bombers by 7 points. Still got 4 minutes to play the opening quarter. Not a beautiful kick off the boot, but it found Hipwood. And he's deep in the left forward pocket. He's a left footer, of course, Eric Hipwood. An excitement machine. He just flies for everything. He's got boundless energy. He's good below his knees for a guy at 202 centimetres. And he's got trouble with his footwear as well, Rob.
Well, maybe it's the remnants of Cyclone Debbie.
Yes.
But poor old Dick Robertson could get his shoe on for about 2 minutes, and he'd have a wet sock now, you would think, and Hipwood's had to make some adjustments there as well. Yeah. Shocking feeling having wet socks.
Oh, no, terrible.
Hey?
Yeah.
You sort of put up with it on the footy field, but more specifically, it's never that comfortable. Big moment is for Hipwood. He's almost had some moments tonight, hasn't he? But hasn't been able to cling on to those grabs. That was an easier one. more a fortunate chest mark, but it just might be the thing to get him going.
It's a tough kick, not the ideal side for a left footer, but he's a beautiful kick of the footy, Eric Hipwood. He'll kick from 45, tight angle. Can he bring it back left to right? It's just gone out to the left for a behind as we check the SEN Identifiber scoreboard. Asbestos and hazardous materials risk management services. A kick in it. Bombers 4-2-26, Brisbane 3-2-20.
So Stanton is the player that's going to bring the ball back in for Essendon. He goes short to Merritt, who gives it back to Stanton, who initially was going one way, then he decided on a hand pass to Michael Hurley. He kicks up towards the wing. There was not much there for him. Robertson is there for the Brisbane Lions. Confronted by Heppel, hand passes away wildly to Danaher, who was also tackled and confronted. Harris Andrews is back there for Brisbane, and the last line sets things up. Beams is there to support. He goes across the ground to Lester, who marks on the defensive 50. Brisbane trailing Essendon by a goal inside the final 3 minutes of the opening quarter, and it's Brisbane Lions running, and there's going to be a free kick here to Tom Bell, and it's going against Martin Gleeson, and Bell's got the free kick about 60 from goal. He'll kick it high to the hot spot, give his big forwards a run at it. Oh, a huge climb from Lester, I think that was. Didn't hang on, looked spectacular, came to naught, but gee, looked all right. And there's going to be a boundary throw in the forward pocket. In fact, it was McStay, the big flyer. It's close up in ruck. It's tapped here to Collier, supporting Merritt. Merritt's kick in their back pocket, marked by Mays on the wing. Brisbane will come forward once more.
Closing in the last 2 minutes as he goes in short. Looking for a good entry here. A lot of the Bombers obviously pushed back behind the footy. Rockcliffe forced to go long. Robertson the fly. Kelly was right there. Barrett at ground level. Nice gather. Good smother on that occasion by Gleeson. Zach Merritt could pick up away to Hurley. Hooked it out of the danger zone. Good use of the body there by Goddard. Worked it nicely to Howlett. They can get out the back here, the Bombers, and stream forward. The foot races on. Tippin Woody and Harwood. If it sits okay, young Antonio's away. Oh, he just took his eyes off the footy. And Harwood closed with a tackle, and then McDonald, Tippin Woody lays a tackle as well. Brisbane the extra number through Nick Robertson. Away to Gardner. The Brisbane crowd are liking what they're seeing. Haven't been too many good days at the Gabba the last 3 years. Here's Louis Taylor. Away to Zorko. Oh, he just feigned the dummy beautifully. 2 bounces. Now the kick inside forward 50. It was a floater. Hipwood lost his footing as well, and was marked by Michael Hurley.
Oh, that was an exciting build-up, just spoiled by a poor kick from Zorko, but he sold some candy in the middle, and isn't the crowd up and about? Great to see the Gabba full of voice once more. It's been lacking for years. Danaher has the footy now, in the middle of the ground, goes forward once more. Beams couldn't take the mark. Here's a chance now for young Langford. He can set something up, cross half forward, chips the kick to Heppel. He was tackled though on the release. McStay's back there for the Brisbane Lions. They're versatile, those big blokes. Gets it to Beams. Beams now to Hipwood. Drops a sitter. Time to recover. That was poor. That was really ordinary stuff. It was Harris Andrews, and he made a real mess of that. Dropped the easiest uncontested mark he could see, and then was nailed by Stanton. So Stanton will go short. 30 seconds left. Parrish has it now for Essendon. High kick to centre half forward. Danaher's there. Didn't really try and take the mark. Spills to Zaharakis. His little give wasn't particularly handy for Essendon. And inside the final 10 seconds, we've got a bounce. Essendon slightly into attack as Chris Fagan's had enough from the coaching box, and he's heading down to the ground. He'd be pretty pleased with what he's seen, I reckon. It's Essendon by just the goal as Parrish gets it to Merritt. They may have time. Robertson's back there for Brisbane, and that will do. What a good quarter of footy that was. Encouraging for both sides. And there was some spectacular footy played at times. At quarter time, it's Essendon 4-2-26, leading the Brisbane Lions 3-2-20.
Yeah, 28 minutes on the SEN air conditioning warehouse sales clock in that opening quarter. Get Melbourne's best air conditioning prices at air conditioning warehouse sales. Another game in progress. Saints off to an encouraging start over at Domain Stadium. 3-5-23, leading West Coast 2 straight 12 from McGregor Portables, an office, granny flat or footy change room anywhere. And the Melbourne Storm doing a beautiful job down at Amy Park. 10-zip. They're leading Penrith Earlier today, of course, the Hawks going down to the Crows by 24 points. The Giants, 102-point winners over a lacklustre Gold Coast. After the break, we'll take a look at the early contenders for the Tyre Power Player of the Night. This is 11:16 SEN Footy for Subway, Toyota and Power Poker Deluxe Fundraisers.